I decided last minute to kind of do a weekend reading vlog for the 4th of July weekend here in the US. It's Independence Day. There's lots of fireworks, lots of fun usually, but I'm just going to kind of hibernate at home and get lots of reading done this weekend. So I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. I might like go get some food with my husband, some things like that, but we're not doing anything crazy for the weekend. And I would love to start the month off with some great reading. So I don't really have a solid TBR. I'm kind of mood reading. Later in the month, we've got Love in the Night. And so for that, I'll have a bit of a stricter reading plan for that week. But I was craving a Christine Feehan. I just recently finished her most recent release, Red on the River, and I really just miss her writing. It's kind of like coming home to me. And I know her writing doesn't get along with everybody, so I'm not going to say that this author is for everyone. But so I'm diving back into a Carpathian book. This is one that I have not read, but it's kind of in the middle, so it's not like the most recent one or anything. It's one that I found at a used bookstore for not a lot of money. There's, kind of a step back, but not really a step back. And this one's called Dark Possession. Had it for a while, just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. So I don't really know anything yet, obviously, other than this one follows a man named Manuel. And that's all I know. He's our Carpathian, and it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Other things I've planned on reading this weekend, I'm starting my buddy read of The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston with Lindsay tomorrow. So I'll get, you'll get my first 100 to 150 pages worth of thoughts on that one. I hope to get all of this read and some manga. I'd love to get a couple of Inuyasha Viz-Big volumes read this weekend. And outside of that, I might start a light novel. I have the first volume of Happy Marriage, so I might try that one. I don't know. We're going to see. But right now, this is going to be my main focus to start. My current audiobook is the first book in the Mistborn series. I have started my reread so that all the books are fresh before the final book in the second era of Mistborn comes out later this year. So I wanted to just refresh it all because it's been years since I've read the series. So I remember big core pieces, but a lot of the little nuanced details that Brennan likes to have in his series have left me because it's just been too long since I've read it. So I've started my reread of that. And yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. That's kind of the intro to this vlog. I don't know if I'll update anymore tonight. I'm kind of ready to just cozy down, get in my pajamas, and be comfy the rest of the night. So we will see if I update you anymore tonight, but I'm definitely craving some Feehan, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. There's not going to be really any rhyme or reason other than it's a holiday weekend, so I'm bringing you along. I'm not back at work till Monday. I do work Monday, kind of a mid-shift, so I might include a little bit of Monday in this vlog as well. I haven't officially decided. I do have some filming I need to get done tomorrow as well. So anyways, that's kind of what's going on. By the way, if I haven't said it already by the time you see this video, thank you all for 6,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I honestly wasn't sure we'd ever make this benchmark because my growth has been super slow this year because I've not been uploading as consistently as I have the last 2 years. But I love and appreciate all of you. I'm really excited for what's to come on the channel. And yes, members are going to get some extra perks this month. So I'm very, very excited. Anyways, I'll see you guys when I've read some more. Hello. Good morning. It's officially Saturday. So I've read the first third of Dark Possession. Read that last night. I'm really enjoying this particular setup because we have our male hero named Manuel, but he goes by Manolito. It's kind of like a nickname. He's one of the De La Cruz brothers, if you're familiar with the series, and he is on the cusp of becoming a vampire because essentially in this world, Carpathians are the precursor to vampires. They become vampire, as we know them, when, as they're feeding, they kill someone. That's when they become vampire. They've lost their soul, and that's how that works in this world. And somehow his life mate, Marianne, and he have become connected, but they both feel like it's like, he feels like it's totally real. She felt like it was a dream, and she just, like, saw him across the room a few times at parties, things like that. And, like, they are physically connected, and they share a mental pathway and all those kinds of things that happen when a Carpathian finds their life mate. He sees in color, all that kind of stuff. And so it'll be really interesting to see how this all shakes out, because I've never read a hero that was this close. Because even Grigori wasn't this close, because he technically found his life mate years before they got together, because she was so young, he gave her time. And so, yeah, that's kind of where we're at here. And it's really good so far. One of my favorites that I've read in the series in a long while. I mean, it'll never top Dark Song for me, but that one is just for very personal reasons. That book hits me different. So, yes, I read a good chunk of this last night. I think I'll get it done today, honestly. Like, it's going really fast for me. And I'm just very, very excited to keep going. All right, so I know it looks like I haven't moved at all this entire reading vlog, but I promise. It's like much later in the day now. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon. But I did just finish Dark Possession. Now, I really liked how this one ended up turning out. So we were walking between the land of the living and the land of the dead with Manolito and Marianne was a shifter. There is some shifter crossover in this world, and I'm not going to tell you what kind of shifter she is. I feel like that was a big reveal part, and I really liked that particular reveal. It worked well for me. But yes, I really enjoyed my time with this one. Another solid Carpathian novel. These all kind of have a formula. The guys are always overbearing and alpha, but they have that morality chain where they would kill anybody to save their woman or get to their woman, or if their woman ever asked. That's just how they work, and it's part of why I love them. So knowing that going into these kind of helps if you know what to expect. But yeah, this is just like the epitome of paranormal romance to me. Christine Feehan truly has written 35 plus books in this world, and they're solid. I really enjoy my time. So yeah, this was really great. Very comforting kind of read for me. I may pull out another Feehan. We'll see. But I think I'm going to take a break and read some manga. I don't know if I want to do... I do think I'm going to pick up Inuyasha. I've got like 5 of the Viz Big volumes that I haven't read yet. I mean, I know the whole story. I've watched the anime. So now I just get to experience it without all the bad filler stuff. And then we'll see what else I pick up. Alrighty, so I've finished volume 5 of the Viz Big of Inuyasha. Basically, what happens in this one, we meet a few key characters for the rest of the series. In this one, we start with Nuraku getting his body, and we end after the initial first big confrontation with Kagura of the Four Winds, who is a minion of Naraku. But we also meet Koga in this one, so we have a fun, lighter-hearted kind of arc in the middle. And it was just a really solid continuation in the story, and I really love the story of Inuyasha. I'm just slowly reading them as I collect them. I mean, I'm already familiar with the story, so this isn't necessarily new information or anything for me. And there wasn't anything hidden in here that wasn't in the anime. The anime's pretty thorough. You just kind of get to skip all the really bad, cringy filler stuff. And we do see Inuyasha in modern times as he goes to the other side of the well to fetch Kagome after a fight. Because, you know, Kikyo's involved and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways. It was just a big fight that they have, and they have them throughout the series. But yeah, again, another solid installment. I really enjoyed myself. This is Koga, by the way. He's one of my favorite characters. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to continuing. It's been a long time since I've picked up an Inuyasha volume, so feels good to pick it back up. So I'm going to keep going for a bit. All right, and volume 6 of the Viz Big Editions is complete. So I had a really good time reading this one as well. We pick up obviously where the last one left off, and we end up being reacquainted with Kohaku. And we've not seen Kohaku in a long time. We thought Kohaku was gone, and Sango finds him, and things are going to evolve from there. So if you're familiar with Inuyasha at all, you know exactly the stuff that got covered in here. We see Koga and Inuyasha come to an understanding. We see Inuyasha and Kagome face what's going on with Kikyo and with Naraku, and how Kikyo is vital in taking Naraku down and some things like that. So it's one of the things that is good and bad about Inuyasha. Because basically, Kikyo, you know, she's basically been pseudo-dead this entire time. And, you know, she keeps coming back in one form or another. And I still will always believe that the Kikyo element of the story is a bit too much. But at the same time, like, now that I know the whole story, like, I get it. So, yeah, it's still a bit frustrating. I'm not going to deny that it is, because I feel like they rubbed that a little too hard, I think. But anyhow, I'm still really enjoying it. It's fun to see Takahashi's art. And yeah. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to read any more today. I might read a little more tonight. Not sure what that's going to be right now, but I've gotten a lot of reading done so far this weekend. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Hello, it is now Sunday. I've been relaxing. It's Sunday afternoon, but I have read since we last chatted, and I've read my 2 days worth of buddy reading of The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is her first adult novel. Everything I know she's written before has been young adult, but this is just a quirky story about a woman who's a ghostwriter for an author. She no longer believes in love, and the author she writes for is a romance author. And so she has to come to grips with having to write. She's got a new editor. He's super hunky, but all of a sudden, she needs to go back home because her father has passed away. And as they're going over things for her father's funeral, she goes to answer the door, and it's her editor. But he is very, very dead and a ghost, and apparently has unfinished business with her. So that's kind of what's going on in this book. Ashley Poston's writing is still as charming as ever in this particular title. I really like Florence's voice. Her narrative voice is really sweet and very believable and very kind of sarcastic in a way, and I really love her for that. And the editor, Benji or Ben, is also fantastic so far. I really like him. He was kind of a stick in the mud, but like, I think it's going to have a little bit of that almost like Pride and Prejudice. Where she made a bad first impression, and so he thought differently of her. And he knew she was a ghostwriter, but like, it didn't come up in their first meeting, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I don't want to say too much more, because I think this book is best just like going into it and enjoying it. Because I went in with like zero expectations of this, and it is absolutely charming and adorable. So I'm having a great time with it. This is one I'm going to slowly be reading with Lindsay. So I've just read our buddy read pages for the last 2 days. And so we do 50-ish pages a day. We just round up to the nearest chapter and go from there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun so far. I'm having a great time with it. Looking forward to more. I'm not really in the biggest reading mood today, at least not right now. But I will probably dye my hair because it's super faded on my bright color. I might switch it to more of a red, though I haven't decided. But I have also read a little bit more in Mistborn, and I've really been enjoying that. Another thing I would like to do is finish a book called Spark by Helen Hart. I don't have it physically with me, it's in the other room. But that's one that I'm like more than 2/3 of the way through. So I'd love to get that finished this weekend as well. So, okay, so I'm back. I did go ahead and finish Spark by Helen Hart. This is like book 19 in the Steel Brothers series, saga, whatever you want to call it. So I can't really tell you much other than this is the beginning of Donnie's arc, because each arc for the characters that we've followed has been 3 books. So this is book 1 in Donnie's arc. And it was really good. I really like Callie, who's going to be his partner. And I really like their dynamic because they understand each other on an intellectual level as well as on other levels, which is really fantastic to see because, you know, he's the one who took the law route, kind of like his mom. He's very smart, very intelligent, and she is equally as intelligent as he is. And I think it's a really good balance because sometimes with these kind of stories, you can end up with one of the people in the couple being really, really smart and then the other person, like, not being as intelligent, and so they have to, like, dumb down how they talk to people and stuff, and so I don't really love that when that happens in the books. So the fact that they're on equal intelligent footing is really nice for me, and these are always really steamy. I really like how the steam is written, personally. But yeah, again, this is very much deep, dark, family saga kinds of things. There are lots of triggers through this entire series, so if you are easily triggered, I would probably pass on Helen Hart's work. But if you like things that are a bit darker and deal with dark subject matter, this will probably be for you. This is a series that I've been reading as they've come out for a very long time. I usually read each saga together. So I do have book 2 in Donnie's Saga Flame, and the 3rd book is Blaze. So I've got both of those. I will probably read them very shortly. I might jump into this right away because the cliffhanger at the end of Spark was really interesting. So I think this is going to be very high on the list, if not next on the list. But yeah, other than that, I may read a volume of manga today. We'll see. I still have more Inuyasha volumes I could dig into, so I might do one of those. Hey friends, so it's now actually Friday. So I'm going to talk to you about what I read for the first 7 days of July instead of just for the weekend. I did a lot more reading than I expected to, and I've not been feeling my best. Today I'm actually feeling pretty good. So I finally felt good enough to film an update for you. So let's go ahead and talk about everything that I've read this week. So first off, Dark Possession, which we've already talked about thoroughly. I found out this was book 15 in the Carpathian series by Christine Feehan. I really enjoyed my time with this one, and you've already heard my thoughts. So, yes, The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This was adorable. I loved everything about this. It's a very clean, closed-door kind of romance, and Florence is an amazing character. She can see ghosts, and she starts to see the ghost of her new editor, and there's a blossoming romance between the two of them. I think you can kind of surmise where things go from there, but this book does heavily deal with grief and loss, as Florence loses her father early on in the book. That's not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. So please go in, make sure that you're in the right headspace for it. I feel like it's all handled really well and done in a really lighthearted and sweet way while also dealing with the heavy topic of losing a parent. So just know that going into this, but it is absolutely adorable. Would 10 out of 10 recommend it. I did end up reading all 3 in this era of the Steele Brothers saga. So I read Spark, Flame, and Blaze. The whole arc for Donnie and Callie was really interesting. We're definitely left on a cliffhanger at the end of Blaze, heading into the next trilogy, which I'm really excited about the characters being featured for that one. I'm not going to tell you who it is because it's kind of revealed throughout here. And again, it's deep enough into the series, like, y'all don't care. Just know that I still really adore this series. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, I guess you could say, which is why I tend to read them in groups like this, where I read like the whole arc at one time, because it just works a lot better for me. I have a couple of digital arcs that I did get read. I read Harmony of Fire by Brian Feehan, which is actually Christine Feehan's son. It was okay. You can tell it's a debut. I felt like it had some stumbles in its pacing, and I think he was trying to take on a little too much with this particular book. You know, he had to establish an entire world. This is a fantasy. So know that going in, but I do believe in the future of this particular series. I will pick up the next book, and I think a lot of the writing will smooth out in a book or two. So I'm going to continue to look out for these. And yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to more. The other digital arc we're going to talk about is a 1-star, and that is Breaking Time by Sasha Alsberg. Now, I went into this slightly hopeful. I mean, she took a lot of time on it. She had gotten a lot of feedback on her first book. So I thought maybe this would be something. It's just basically really bad Outlander fanfic. I mean, there's bad fanfic out there, and then there's good fanfic. This is the bad fanfic. And the writing is very clumsy, and I just did not enjoy myself at all with this one, which is really sad. I was hopeful. I was giving it a shot, but no. So I'm glad it was an arc and I didn't spend any money on it. I would not recommend picking it up personally. So yeah. That's all I'm going to say. I don't love to be super negative on this channel, as y'all know, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then I'll scoot these over here. So I did read up volumes 5 through 9 of the Inuyasha Vizbigs. That's been kind of my manga focus this week, and it's been lovely. It's been lovely to spend some time with these characters. It's time for me to invest in more of the Vizbigs, because I just kind of pick them up as I'm reading them. I got a little behind here, as you can see, but now I am caught up. I love Inuyasha. I love Rumiko Takahashi. So this is just nostalgic in a way for me, even though I didn't come into Inuyasha until I was an adult, but it was one of the first animes I tried. So it's really fun to revisit these characters. I'm having a good time. Yashahime was such a disappointment that it's nice to be back with Inuyasha. I still think the Kikyo. All the stuff with Kikyo is still a little too much for me, but I really enjoy the whole cast other than Kikyo. So with that said, that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry my clips were a bit sporadic, and that this ended up being a week long instead of a weekend reading vlog like it was originally planned to be. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the touch-up of the hair color. I'm sure enjoying it. And I will see you guys in the next one. If you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and leave me some sort of wolf or dog emoji for Inuyasha, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my